Well, the economics in Cushing has changed quite a bit. You know, when you look at today in 2012 and you look at where we were 5 years ago, the oil industry in particular has evolved in Cushing.
People hear about Cushing and the tank farm, but until they see the tank farms, they don't know what we're talking about.
You see a lot of growth in Cushing. Just driving down Main Street, you see businesses popping up everywhere.
Most of it's been centered around the expansion of our oil and gas industry, basically storage and transportation. But we've seen a tremendous growth in our tank farm areas.
In the last several years, probably as much as I remember Cushing growing my entire life.
The growth of Cushing has been phenomenal.
Well, economically, we've really grown, and like I say, we're a homegrown bank, and if Cushing's grows, we grow, and if they don't, we don't.
Growth in Cushing over the last few years has just been phenomenal. I mean, obviously, just looking around, you can tell the number of new businesses, the businesses that are growing.
The economic growth in Cushing has definitely increased.
Over the last 3 to 5 years, I think it's fair to say that it's been a very phenomenal growth.
We asked for motels forever, didn't have them, now we have 2.
You know, now we've got the motels. That all has to do with the growth that the community has.
This tank farm thing out here, they've got like 1,500 more tanks going to be built, and Enbridge is bringing in 70 people. It's just, we're kind of in a boom area right now.
The tank farm work that's going on, the amount of workers that have been brought into our community as a result of all the economic development that's going on in the oil field industry has had a tremendous impact.
And all the ancillary business that has come along that services our tank farms, we have seen an enormous growth.
I've also seen, as you go up and down Main Street, there are new malls, a lot of economic growth. We have a lot of potential.
More people, new opportunities, and certainly if you drive out by the tank farms, you can see the growth. It's there, it's happening.
I've seen a change in the number of kids who have been coming into my school especially.
You know, all these things are attributed to growth in Cushing.
This vision and new direction provides us an opportunity to provide a quality education for our children, a more safe and secure learning environment for our children, and allows us to maximize the use of the resources that we have.
We need to bear some new fruit. We need to plant some new seeds. And I think that our community is poised to be intentional about setting a new standard in education in Cushing.
Our buildings dictate what we do educationally. If we were to build a new facility, not only would we be able to do the best for the kids there, but it allows us to do things at the elementaries where kids can be placed where they could benefit the most instead of placing them where we have to.
When 6th graders come to middle school, it's a huge transition for them, and for the first time we're getting students who have been previously separated at 4 separate locations, and now all of a sudden they're in one location.
The question of should we expand our school systems, renew buildings and stuff, to me is an obvious answer.
We've got so many buildings, so many spread out, old buildings. We have not built any new buildings in 35 years.
The piece that we seem to be missing in all of this is the brick and mortar, the facility.
I think it's the community's job to make sure we furnish them with facilities in which they can operate.
You know, we have an opportunity here to build a facility that meets the needs of our kids.
You know, if we're a community that chooses not to act, then we're going to continue to stay in the same place we've always stayed. You know, in order for us to grow and prosper as a community, it begins in the educational system.
There's always safety concerns when it comes to managing a facility.
50-year-old facilities trying to put in 2010 technology, you can spend a lot of money, still can't get much out of it.
The newest building was designed in the 70s, and certainly the safety concerns that we have today for students weren't the same even then.
At my particular building, I do have a rather long hall, a block long, where it's difficult to see children, watch children as they're coming up and down the hall because they could either be going outside or going to the library. There's not a restroom down there, so I have students walking a block to come up to the restroom.
Many of our sites are out of city limits actually, so a lot of times it takes a call to the sheriff, and sometimes no one is in that area.
When you talk about a potential new facility in our community and bringing those facilities inside of the city, it betters our service abilities as far as city goes. It betters the law enforcement service abilities as far as the police department goes.
The fact that we have so many facilities, we don't even have that many law enforcement personnel on duty to cover all those facilities in the event that we need assistance.
If they're at one location, our response time will be much better. We don't have to worry about going 4 or 5 different places in case of an emergency that might involve more than one facility.
If we have all of our schools in one location or in one area, it's much easier for our law enforcement personnel to protect our children, to protect our community. Our elementary sites have great history, and we have tremendous pride in that fact. However, now we have to recognize that our current facility setup does hinder the educational process. The facility limitations of our elementary sites has too much impact on how we place kids into learning environments. By consolidating our schools and going to the grade center concept, our emphasis can be putting children in the ideal learning environment. We will have our pre-K students go to Sunnyside. Our kindergarten and first grade students would attend Harmony. Our second, third, and fourth grade students would attend the current middle school, and it would be converted to an elementary setup. And then the 5th through 8th grade would attend the middle school, which would be set up as actually a 5th and 6th grade center and a 7th and 8th grade center. So it's basically 2 schools in one. It's a great design that really maximizes the facility that we're going to build. By moving to the center concept, our children will start out together and they will go through their entire educational experience as Cushing Tigers.
I have been a Cushing Tiger for as long as I can remember. I have been a part of Cushing Public Schools in one way or the other for the majority of my life. And I take a lot of pride in my hometown. I chose to come back and work and live and raise my family in my hometown. I think it's a great place to live, and I couldn't be prouder to say I'm a Cushing Tiger.
You know, I graduated from Cushing High School. I was on the first state championship football team. I mean, there's a lot to be proud of to be a Cushing Tiger.
Yes, I am a Tiger fan. I bleed orange.
I do take a lot of pride in Cushing because, you know, this is my hometown. This is where my family lives, my kids, my grandchildren.
Came here for only a couple of years and been here 26 years. I guess I'll be buried here.
How can you not be a Cushing Tiger fan? And by working in the community, the city of Cushing, or living around it, I don't understand how people can't be a Cushing Tiger fan.
I am a Cushing Tiger fan by birth. I literally was born with the tiger claws. Oh, maybe I should say the tiger paws.
When I look at our school system and what they're trying to do in creating this grade center, We're looking at collaboration amongst teachers, collaboration amongst students. We're looking at community pride. We're also a community that says, you know what, we believe not only in education, but we believe in the people who we have elected in the school board and whom the school board has hired to promote a vision for our community, not just for today, but we're talking 10, 20, 30 years from now. And when you stop and you think about that and you think about the seeds that are going to be planted today, we're not just talking about the generation today, we're talking about the generation tomorrow. And our community is striving to be intentional about that. And I think that when we go back and we look at what we're going to accomplish in 2013 as a community, I think it's awesome. And I think it's going to be awesome for years to come.